Welcome to LHC Crawler Chronicles. I'm Big Ed. We're going to go through today on part 2 of the Ultimate Capra project, in my eyes at least. Everybody probably has a Capra that'll be way better than mine, and I'm fine with that. As long as I'm happy, that's all that works. If you saw my first video, I let you know how I hooked up these servos. Mounting it in the car, I get lucky. Everything fit perfect. Only issue I'm going to have is I think the console where the Enema brothers sit is going to hit right here. So I'll probably have to clearance that out and make room for everything to go down. Spur gear clears. It's going to be underneath the hood, which is good. My choice of spur gear is the Drag Race Concepts 100 tooth spur for my drag car. I had these left over, started running them in my crawlers. I like low gear. I just do. We're crawling rocks. The more controlled you could get the ratio, as John Holmes from Holmes Hobby says, gear down, volt up. So I always run 4S, and I try to get everything theoretically as low as possible. And that will do it. Not going to fit a battery in there. Maybe a little guy on the side there, but that's going to be sketchy. So that's going to be the hard thing, is figuring out where I'm going to put 2 batteries and getting this wired up before I even get the differentials in it. But let me go ahead and move this cage, and let me go scrounge up the, the Subaru brothers. Those are the kind of guys that drive a Subaru right there. So let me get them fitted in, and we'll see how the fit is. They fit. Not bad. It's on the mount. You can see right there in the center console where I had to do a little cutaway for the VFD. But not bad. I could cover that area with a satchel, man purse, or a fanny pack. These are definitely fanny pack guys. There's no doubt about it. These guys would have a fanny pack for their chapstick. No doubt. Yep. My drivers. God, that's great. All joking aside, I'm glad it fits. Plenty of clearance for the servos. I just got to figure out where I'm going to put a battery. That's going to be something I'm going to have to sleep on overnight and think about. But I'm going to go grab those axles, and we'll talk about them. Here you go. These are the Class 3 axles, straight axles from Deluxe. I believe they'll come out somewhere around the Capra width. They look really wide, but that's like because you don't have a big old nasty portal hanging down there. Now you sacrifice some low gear ratio, but that's why I got that big 100 tooth spur up there. And the way I have these geared, I have a 30 tooth and an 8 tooth in the front, a 33 and an 8. So an underdrive and a standard, which gives me about 9 or 10%, plus the 6% in the transmission. That's 16%. Hopefully that'll be all I need. I could always go ahead and put a bigger overdrive in here, but I'm concerned about the low gear drivability. That's my concern. I don't want to overheat motors, ESCs. I want it to work, and hopefully it should. But the cool thing about these axles is when that drive shaft is straight right there, look at the layback on the caster. They make all of that adjustable from right there, and I'm almost at the max. But I found this out with my other Capra that has the portal version of this. You know, when you steer, that tire lays over in a very weird way and lets you grab things you never thought you could. And that's just the MOA guys. They do that all the time. So I figured they could crawl. Why can't I build something that could, emulate that? When in Rome, do as the Romans do. The rear axle is going to be 4-steer. Now, one thing you'll notice, when you got that, you can see where the drive shaft is going to go. The caster is laid back. Also, that is the proper way you are supposed to have a rear axle set up. Ask an engineer, and I doubt you'll get a different answer. But that is the way it's supposed to be. Because when people are selling these cars, they're just taking a front, put it on the back, and I'd love to do that because they look scaled, they look real. I love the realism. I love, having a driver, that's cool. But I'm not going to sacrifice crawlability just to say that really looks real. I'm just not going to do that. But the problem is your caster, when you put it on the rear, if you level out the servo, hopefully it'll be at 0. Most of the time it's angled down. And the problem is when you steer, the tire is digging and it usually folds over. I'm talking about extreme conditions where you need it to be right. It won't be. But now, when you have that laid back, when you steer, your tire's not folding over. And that's a good thing. That's what you want it to do, Look at that. When that's like that, the angle is upwards. The tire's not digging. That makes a difference. Those are the axles that are going to go in the Ultimate Capra. So I am going to start wiring the car up, figuring out where I'm going to put batteries. That'll be in another video. But this was just a tutorial of what's going to go in it. Of course, I am going to have NSDRC servos on here. And there's a little bit of work. When you put that big servo in there, you got to usually, massage everything and make it fit right. Make sure the wiring's tucked away. And, you got to do your due diligence in doing the job right. So that takes a little bit of time. All this takes time. Doing things right takes time. So that's what I'm going to start working on is my wiring on the car, figuring out where everything's going to go. And we will see you on another video. Thanks again for watching from LHC Crawler Chronicles. And we'll catch you next time. Go crawl. Crawl some big rocks. Kill some lines.